Greetings everybody, my name is Captain HonorSeeker and welcome back to another Diablo 3 video. Today we're going to talk about the PTR for Season 30. We finally got the PTR date, we got the PTR notes, so we're going to do quick over them and see what they actually bring to us. Alright, so Hail Nephilim. We welcome you to the Diablo 3 patch 2.7.7 PTR from December 5th to December 12th. You'll need your help in testing balance changes for all classes and two returning season themes that are being permanently added to the game for all modes. The Rise of Sanctuary and the Visions of Enmity. So, the Altar of Rights is coming back. That was already stated. The Visions of Enmity got stated a long way season 29 that we're gonna get that back. So that's a fun theme as well. The team, the actual recycled team that they're going to do is not announced yet. But we will find out soon. Blizzard soon TM. So, what's going to happen? So, the Rise of Sanctuary and Visions of Enmity based on positive community feedback. We saw these season themes were such a hit that we've decided to make them permanent. Nice. Players can harness the mind from the Altar of Rights and the diabolical fissures to dream up unique class builds and achieve new levels of power. Class balance to ensure that the most significant class changes receive an ample amount of attention. Probably not gonna happen. We'd love for you to focus testing and providing feedback on the balance changes for all classes. Alright. PTR unique buff, well, basically increased experience, double blood shard drops, etc, etc. Alright, so PTR testing tips. As previous PTRs, this testing period is short, that's all we know, mostly 2 weeks, but apparently they're gonna do this time 1 week. Because of the limited duration of this PTR, we asked the participants to pick a particular portion of this update to focus on testing. If you're primarily a Witch Doctor, choose Witch Doctor. If you're a Crusader, you choose Crusader. You're a Barb, you choose Barb, or whatever. Like, if you're a Monk, you play Monk. If you're a Demon Hunter, mainly Demon Hunter, you choose for a Demon Hunter. And they say to break things. You break things and you notify Blizzard that things are changed. Right. When providing feedback, focus less on the solution and more on your experience. So, for example, what they mean there is like, if you're playing, let's say, a Demon Hunter and you feel that your strafe is not working properly, just tell them that. Like, hey, I was experienced this and this way. My strafe, it didn't do what it needed to do. Mention those things. Does it feel incorrect? Does it feel insufficient or sufficient? Like, just tell them. Don't be scared. New permanent features, Rise of Sanctuary, and Visions of Enmity. Alright. So, the thing that they did is they reworked during the entirety of Season 29 the Altars of Right. Mainly, basically, nerf it down. Like, the Altar of Right that we had in Season 28 was overpowered as it was. It was just way more damage than I think they anticipated, but it was fun. We got, most of all of us got a 150 done that season, so let's see what happens this year. So for Force, it's decreased damage 100 to 100 instead of 200, so that's down by 50%. Decreased missile shadow, decreased missile damage reduction to 5%. It was 25 before. The Exodus movement speed was uncapped. Now it's going to be plus 10% plus instead of plus 25. Increased damage against elite reduced to 5%. It was 15 before. Tenacity how do you pronounce that? Tenacity? Yeah, probably like that. Increased damage reduced to 5%. It was 20% before, so we need to stack up on armor again. Reverence reduced damage taken from elites by 5. It was 25, so we need to look at that as well. Numb, 25% decreased melee damage. It goes to 5% and it was 25. Nature, highest elemental skill damage bonus increased by 5. It was 10. So it looks like they're are decent nerfs actually. Prowess, increased damage against elites reduced to 5. Was 20 before. That's 3/4 down. Jesus. Roar, damage done to bosses increased to 5%. It was 50, so that's huge. It's almost, what is it, 95%, something like that? 90%? Maybe 90%. Jesus. Elegance, chance to dodge increased by 50. Oh, sorry. Elegance, chance to dodge increased by 5%. It was 15 before. Malice decreased to plus 5% damage. It was 30 damage before. Damn, that's 5-6 down. Jesus. Fodder. Power pylon has been removed from the random shrine effect, so you do not get the power pylon. Okay. Mother Trion of Lost Circle now increases damage by 50%. It was previous 100. In addition to the desired fall of Diablo's 3 system to feel both fun and challenging, the Altar of Right adjustments were made to maintain a sense of progression throughout playing while not coming into conflict with other features. So basically, when the Altar of Rights got announced, right? Then we had our season journey. Before that, we had the season journey. We would go through the season journey, and basically we called our season done. Now, with the Altar of Rights coming back, it's the season journey, but you also need to cap out your entire Altar of Rights. What it needs to be done to cap the Altar of Rights out, it still needs to be seen, but it's going to be probably something that we need to form at one point, like the Staff of Herding that we needed to do in Season 28. Class balance changes. Over time, we have seen some builds gain a massive amount of power, leaving other builds behind and in need of updates. The Wizard's Meteor has dominated the battlegrounds of Sanctuary for far too long, as well as some other sets. We believe to have found a good avenue for each build to perform in and have improved sets across each class to walk towards this goal. Given the number of changes we have made for this PTR, receiving feedback from the community is crucial in ensuring we hit the mark. So, if you go testing, make sure you send your feedback. Your feedback is important. Alright, we start up with Barbarian. Mind of the Earth. Increase the damage of Earthquake, Avalanche, Leap, Crown Stomp, Ancient Spear, and Seismic Slam to 37.5k%, and it was 20,000% before. That's a huge buff. That is a big buff. Like, you go at least up 5t or something like that. Legacy of Rhaegar. Hitting enemies with Furious Charge or Weapon Throw increases damage of your next Ancient Spear by 2,500%, and it was 5,500% before. So that's a nerf. This effect stacks, and each spear throws consume a maximum of 5 stacks. So basically what that means is this one goes down, but probably still gonna be at least 8 tier. Like, and then we need to see how it reacts with the Altar of Rights, so we need to have that little bit testing to figure out if it's gonna still do 150 or not, especially with the Altar now. Alright, Crusader. Oh, wow. Crusader got some nice buffs. There's some nerfs apparently as well. Roland's Legacy. Increase the damage of shield bash and sweep attack to 40,000%, and it was 17,500 before. Wow. Just wow. That's a huge buff. That's at least 10 tiers or something like. It's huge. That's Ages of Valor. Increase the damage of Fist of the Heavens and Heaven's Fury to 15,000% from 20,000%. Again, Ages of Valor gets a nerf once again. Just keep it at 20,000. Like, why nerf it to 15,000? It's already being nerfed since the beginning, since the class set was announced. Account's Manacles. Blessed Shield damage is increased by 400 to 500% for the first enemy it hits. Additionally, this bonus continues and is reduced by 50% for each subsequent non-shattering throw target. Alright. Blade of Prophecy. Condemned enemies also trigger Condemned's Explosion, and the damage of Condemned is increased by 600 to 800%. Alright. Decent. Faithful Memory. Each enemy hit by Falling Sword increase the damage of Blessed Hammer by 60 to 80% for 10 seconds. Max 10 stacks. Each stack of this buff can now stack between uses instead of resetting. Alright. Alright, the Shadow's Mantle impales additional damage. So we're now at the Demon Hunter. Shadow's Mantle impales additional damage increased to 120,000% weapon damage from 75,000. That's an increase of what? 45,000% to the first enemy hit, and to 40,000% from 25,000% to subsequent enemies. So these two combined will make it, well, it will spike again in the tier list, that's for sure. Embodiment of the Marauder. Your primary skills: Elemental Arrow, Chakram, Impale, Multishot, Cluster Arrow, Companions, Vengeance, and Sentries now deal 6,500% increased damage, previously 12,000%, for every active sentry. So this is actually a nerf. So it was already 80, so we're going... This might go down to like B tier. But then again, we still need to see how everything reacts with the Altar of Rights being added again. Monk, Raiment of 1,000 Storms. Your Spirit Generator increase the weapon damage of Dashing Strike to 60,000% for 6 seconds, and Dashing Strike increases the damage of your Spirit Generator by 14,000 instead of 6,000 for 6 seconds. It's a nice buff, but you're still gonna be squishy as hell. Like, Raiment has no defense. Maybe that's why they amp the damage so much. Uliana Stratagem. Increase the damage of your Exploding Palm from 9,000 to 12,500, and your 7-sided strike detonates your Exploding Palm. That's a nice buff for Ulianas. I think we're gonna see a lot of Ulianas on the board. It's been a while since we saw Ulianas on the solo monk boards. Maybe this is the season that we see Uliana back. Yoshiro's Blade. When the initial impact of your Wave of Light hits 5 or fewer enemies, previously 3, the damage is increased by 200 to 250%. So that's actually a nice buff for Kyoshiros. Necromancer. Pestling. Each corpse you consume grants you an empowered bone spear. Charge and increase the damage of your next bone spear by 6,000 from 3,300. That's a huge buff. In addition, corpse lance and corpse explosion damage is increased by 6,000%, also from 3,300. Now, this is a nice buff for pestilence. Like, that's a nice buff. Inarius bone armor also activates a swirling tornado of bone, damaging nearby enemies for 1000% weapon damage and increasing the damage they take from the necromancer to 19,000 up to 10,000. That's a huge buff. That's 9,000% more. Yikes! Tragul's avatar, your life spending abilities deal 6,250% increased damage, previously 10,000. That's a nerf. Sadly, it's gonna be enough. And your healing from skills is increased by 100%. So you gain more healing, but you have less damage. Masquerade of the Burning Carnival. Bone Spear. Cast by you and your simulacrums deals 5,500% increased damage. Previously 9,000. That's another nerf. It's actually sad to see this many nerfs. But it is a PTR, so things might still change towards the actual patch notes for the actual season. Blood Type Blade. Death Nova deals 300 to 400% increased damage for every enemy within 25 yards up to 10 enemies, previously 25. So bye bye big explosions. Got it. Grasp of Essence. When an exploded corpse damages at least one enemy, your corpse explosion deals 150 to 200% increased damage for 6 seconds. Stacking up to 4 times, previously 5. So we go down 1 stack, but we go in increased damage. Corpse with Pauldron. Corpse lance damage is increased to 50 up to 75% from 20. That's huge. For 3 seconds when you consume a corpse, max 20 stacks. So it goes over 1,000. Oh, sorry. Jesus, we actually got some buffs and nerfs as well, so it seems. Raiment of the Soul Harvester. Soul Harvest reduces damage taken by 50% for 12 seconds and consumes your damage over time. Effects on enemies instantly dealing 26,000 seconds worth of remaining damage. Holy shite. Helltooth Harness. After casting Wall of Death, gain 37,500% increased damage, previously 17,500. For 15 seconds, do your primary skill Acid Cloud, Fire Bats, Zombie Chargers, Zombie Dogs, Gargantuan, Grasp of the Dead, Piranhas, and Wall of Death. So technically, you gain a huge buff as well. Like you go up like 20,000% in damage. That's massive. Mudanugus Regalia. Spirit Barrage deals 15,000 increased damage, previously 20,000. Plus an additional percentage equal to 5 times your mana regeneration per second. So you're gonna stack up mana regenerator instead of anything else. Spirit of Arakir. The damage of your creature's skill is increased by 11,500, previously 25,000. That's a big nerf for Arakir. Creature skills or corpse spiders, plague of toads, fire bats, locust swarm, hacks, and piranhas. Ooh, the chicken got nerfed. Zunimasa Hound. Enemies hit by your mana spenders take 13,000% increased damage, previously 15. Alright, that's not a big nerf. It's a nerf, but not as big. Here comes the wizard. Delcir's Magnus Opus DMO. Enemies affected by your slow time and for 5 seconds after exiting take 20% increased damage, previously 12,000. That's a big buff. So DMO is gonna go up from your arcane orb energy, twister blades, shock pulse, Bombs, Magic Missile, Spectral Blade, Electrode, Arcane Torrent abilities. Tower Russia, here it is. Attacks increase your damage by 1000%, previously 2000, so that's already a nerf of 50% for 8 seconds. Arcane, Cold, Fire and Lightning attacks each at one attack. At 4 stacks, each different elemental attack extends duration by 2 seconds up to a maximum of 8 seconds. Smoldering Core. Lesser enemies are now lured to your major meteor impact. That's known. Meteors deals 40 to 50% increased damage on consecutive hits to the same target. This stacks up to 3 times instead of 10. Big ass nerf. That's like 7 times less. 70% less. Yikes. Twisted Sword. Energy twister damage is increased by 125 to 150% for each energy twister you have out, up to a maximum of 3, previously 5. The Raging Storm rune is automatically applied to energy twister and allows the tornado to merge with 3 additional energy twisters. So overall, I think it's going to be a good patch. I think it's going to be a great season, especially with the returning season team from a previous season. But other than that, we have the Altar of Rides back. We have the Vision of Enmity back. We have some buffs and nerfs for the classes. Like it's going to be a fun season, I think. Like we're going to have fun. Like I'm going to test out the PTR as much as I can. The only problem is it starts on the 5th. For us that play D4 as well, the Abattoir Rosier also starts on the 5th. So we're gonna have a problem there. I'm gonna have a busy week. I'm gonna have a week where I'm thinking like, I will not have much sleep. Alright guys. That's it for the PTR. I hope to see you all in Sanctuary again there. Alright guys. Have a good one. Stay healthy and catch you all in the next one. Bye.